Hi everyone. Hi. It's been a while. It's me, Dawson Creams. Woohoo. No. Okay, so I'm making an update. It's been like how much? 8, 9 months. It's currently summertime and it's 2024. And that's where I'm recording this. Anyways, since I made that really sad post about me struggling, every single week or month I'm getting DMs still till this day, or comments asking if I'm okay and being worried, and sending support and love to that version of me that was really struggling. And to that, I really, really, really want to thank you and say that I see all of your comments, or I try to at least. And seriously, thank you so much for reaching out. The comments really made me feel appreciated and feel seen and feel heard, and hearing all of you guys' stories about your own struggles, or even ways of you supporting me. Thank you. Thank you. Even if you wrote a heart, I still see that as you reaching out. And even though you might not know the words to say, you're sending love. So thank you. Thank you a lot. And because everyone, not everyone, but because people have been reaching out, I thought I would make an update video and get you back on speed and talk about life. So I want to mention that I'm doing a lot better than I was. I'm doing a lot better. Nowadays I have struggles just like before, but I have a lot of highs. I have a lot of happy periods where I'm smiling. And I just want you to know that, first of all, I'm doing okay. I'm alive. I'm happy. I'm living life. I'm not suffering anymore. I'm not suffering. So, now, I wanted to keep this part and just talk to you about what actually happens to me. Or, well, not everything, because it's like a compilation of my entire life. But I'm going to talk about anxiety, because anxiety is something I'm very sensitive to. I felt a lot of anxiety throughout my whole entire life. And about a year and a half ago, I reached a breaking point. So, I'm going to talk about that. But if you just wanted to know if I'm okay, I'm okay. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best in life. And hope you take care of yourself. Alright. So, what happened was that I was living alone for the first time in my life, was spreading my wings. I got in an apartment. And I was just so lonely. When I tell you how lonely I was in that apartment, when I first moved in, I felt happy, excited, because that's what society tells us, right? You become an adult, you work, and then you get your own apartment, and then you get love, and all this fucking pipeline that I hate. But yes, that was what was happening, so I was super excited. And then it was around the time where COVID was still prevalent when I moved in, so I couldn't really meet any friends, any people. You had to keep distance from everything and everyone, wear masks and all that. So I was basically isolated, and the only thing I had was social media, or social media like Discord, or like different chatting services online, where I could just reach out to people. And VC, playing Among Us was like a popular thing back then too. Just anything to get us through that time, right? But for me, I felt so lonely. And I don't know what it is about, or maybe it's not about online, but it cannot replace real life. Online cannot do that. I cannot have the same interaction, the same connection, the same experience. It's like online is it's very easy to ghost people. It's very easy to see them as just a name, or just an anime profile picture, or you don't really see the person behind. You don't see the feedbacks of their facial expressions, their body language. Like, it's hard to read people when you can't see them, when the only thing when you can't feel them, when the only thing is like maybe voice at best, maybe cam at best. But even camming, it's like so weird, because you only see like the head. You don't see the body. And that also, like, I noticed, because I was studying at the time, and working, but I was studying, and I was seeing my professor, and they would have lectures, and I didn't really understand. I had to go to my own books and read to understand. But when I saw them in real life, there was so much more information, like, actually sticking into my head, because I could just see their whole body, and that really helped me understand. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that the connections that I had online, they were not ultimately a substitute for real life, and I tried to make it a substitute. I was online, I was chronically online, because, like, man, I'm not even going to uni. The only thing after uni, I'm working. And when I'm working, there's all these masks and keeping distance from each other. And it was just isolation upon isolation. Even, like, going to the store, it's isolation. So, of course, I reached a point where I was really, really lonely. And growing up, I was bullied. I was like, man, I was like abused a lot growing up, in various forms. So I think that has really impacted my self-confidence. So I think it's easy for me to perceive another person as, oh, they don't like me, they hate me, or they don't want to talk to me. Like, when people haven't talked to me for a while, I start to think that they're bored of me, they don't like me, and I don't even hit them up, because I'm just under that impression that they wouldn't even want me to talk to them. So I became isolated. I became really isolated, and I tried to find what we see in movies, that really happy family, like, people to get really close to. I wanted that so bad, just a family. And what I found was just, it was just not working out very well. It's hard to explain what was going on, because I'm not really sure myself. I just know that it was very hard for me to bond and find connections. Like, either I would get too attached really quickly, and then I would get really anxious, because I'm like, oh my god, I've been abandoned most of my life, they're also going to abandon me. And then, like, acting as if they're going to abandon me, stressing myself out, being super anxious and sad, and then, like, maybe even lashing out at them, assuming things about them that is not true. I did that because of my emotions. Like, I felt so strongly that they were going to leave me that I acted preemptively. So that was not the greatest, I think I think it was really hard to navigate conflict because let's face it, online it's so easy to avoid conflict. Like if you're having an issue with someone, you block them, you delete them, you hang up. If you have something like an unpleasant conversation, you never talk to them again. Like, but I noticed in real life, you can't really run away like that. You're still going to see them at school or at work. You're still going to interact with them. So it's a lot better to just talk it out and try to be on the same page and apologize and, repair the rupture. But online, it was so easy to not repair the rupture, to impulsively act and just be like, fuck this. I'm not talking to this person. They're toxic. They're bad. Without truly understanding them, just going off of like a bad interaction and just labeling them as bad and never talking to them again. So easy to be in like a Discord call and click the red button when you're upset at someone and then never talk to them again. Just, it was really hard for me to build lasting friendships. And I do have friends. I do have very lovely people that I've been around for a long time in my life. But they are not, I didn't feel loved by them. And it's hard to know what that is. But I still felt unfulfilled is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, long rant, sorry, my god. So, I was feeling really alone, and I was trying to find love, and I was just like clinging on to people, trying to find someone that would treasure me, that would love me, that would pour affection into me. Basically, someone that would love bomb me, because I didn't have the patience to just get to know someone and naturally care for each other. Like, I just wanted to be love bombed, like something toxic, So, it didn't work. It fell flat on its face. And I had been engaging in I got into a relationship that was very tumultuous, very quick, barely knew the guy, ended, and I felt, after that breakup, I was shutting myself off, like my emotions, just shutting off. I didn't want to open up to anyone. If you've ever broken up with someone, it's like, I'm never gonna fall in love again. I never want to give anyone my heart. You kind of turn against love, and it's like you could get angry and bitter, or even underneath that anger, feeling hopeless and sad and feeling like I'm not loved. People don't like me. And that's what I felt. I took this, being broken up with as a sign that I am horrible, that I am unlovable, and even though I have a cute voice, when people truly get to know me, they're going to hate me because I have a very ugly personality. That's what I felt like at the time, and I felt so isolated and so alone. And the people I was meeting was not good people. The people were exploitative and just wanted to use me for their own, desires, and they truly didn't care about me for who I was. And I felt that. I think you feel that deep down in your body when someone truly doesn't like you and are using it. You can feel it in your body, but then I've always been, I know I've been through all of these traumatic things, so my internal compass are wrong sometimes. So what can I truly trust about what I feel? It's still something I'm trying to figure out till this day, but yeah. Anyways, so I was alone. I remember becoming so afraid of socializing, especially in real life, because when you aren't in that world too much, it's almost like you get rusty in a way. It's hard to socialize, and every time I would go somewhere public to like get groceries, for example, I would feel like people are staring at me. I would feel like people are judging me. I would be so afraid that the cashier would judge what I was buying. Like, oh, maybe they see that I've bought like sweets and maybe they're judging me for eating unhealthily. Or maybe I'm making an awkward face when I look at them and maybe they start to hate me now, and then I'm going to have to see that person in the store the next day. I would make sure that I would go on different times so that I wouldn't meet the same person in the cashier. I would stop going even though I was really hungry and didn't have any food. I would starve myself just so I could wait more days until so they hopefully would forget my face, so they wouldn't remember me. I also remember when I was younger, I would just feel like everyone was so beautiful and I was so ugly, and every time I would go outside, I would get almost a panic attack, like so much anxiety, because I would feel that I was really ugly, and because I'm ugly, no one's gonna like me and love me, and all of those things. It's really heartbreaking, honestly, to look back upon that I felt that way and that I avoided human contact because of that. Okay, so my anxiety grew, and you know what I did? I would avoid my life, living life, everything that made me uncomfortable. I would avoid it. And by avoiding it, unfortunately, it grows. It becomes bigger, it becomes stronger. Because you're telling yourself that this is dangerous and we need to avoid it. Every time you avoid something, you're telling yourself, if we actually encounter that, it would be dangerous for us. So it just grows and grows and grows. Every time you avoid something, even if it's small, that little seed starts to grow and grow and grow. And I would lay in bed, and I was not depressed. But I was so anxious that I wanted to calm myself down, because my anxiousness manifests in like chest pains and like headaches, and I would just feel sick, So I would just lay down, and then I would wake up and I would feel calm. I would feel soothed. I would listen to so much ASMR, just like soothing myself. Then wake up really hungry. Then go in the middle of the night to a convenience store and buy food. Dance and be happy for a while. Then be crushed under the expectations of what I should do with my life, and I can't do it because I'm so anxious. I started also to have health anxiety. I started to worry about just small things, like if I got bruised, I would like stare at the bruise like most of the time of the day, would stare at the bruise, be like, oh my god, what if it's a sign that I have cancer? Would just Google every symptom I ever had and get really scared and think I was dying. And it was a mess. So then the catalyst happened when I was laying in bed. I'd just eaten a lot of really, I forget, but I think it was like Doritos, and I'd eaten so much and my stomach was so upset, and it was the strangest thing, really, because I was waking up in the middle of the night and I was so worried. I'd never been that worried in my entire life. I was feeling like if I died now, no one would be there to save me. No one would check on me. I would just be dead. Like, if you've ever watched hikikomoris, like Japanese shut-ins that, they just live alone and they don't go outside, they don't work, they don't, like, I felt like that. Like, no one's going to know that I'm dead. No one's even going to help me. So I felt such extreme fear. I was shivering, shaking, my whole body. I was feeling like, this kind of sounds silly, but I was feeling like I was transforming into a vampire, in the sense that I could feel every vein in my body. I could feel the heat of my blood just flushing me, hives breaking out, just like, I felt like, this is it. I'm dead. I'm dying. Like, this is it. That's how I felt. And like, normally people have like panic attacks for maybe like a few minutes to an hour. I had it the whole night. And so I called my parents in the morning and I said, "Hey mom, I think I'm not really feeling that well." And she heard it in my voice, and she was like, "Hey honey, like, you should pack your bags and you should move back with us for a few days and see how you feel." And so I did. And that's where my long recovery. Actually, it's been a really fast recovery considering how long these things can take to recover from. But I think I was just really, really, really lonely. So I came back, and let me tell you, for months, I couldn't sleep. I was so afraid. I was so scared. Like my fight or flight was constantly triggered. Like, it wasn't just, I'm afraid of going to the store. It was like, I'm afraid of being alive. Like, I was afraid 24/7. I couldn't even rest, to heal. I was awake the entire nights and the days. And I was feeling so hopeless. I was feeling so sad. I was like, my life has reached a point I never knew it could reach. And I just said to my parents, like, "Mom, Dad, like, I want to get on medications. Like, I want to get medicated. I can't live like this." And my parents were like, "Hey, we want you to know that you can get through this without medication. And if you feel really, really bad and you just really desperately need in the future to see someone to get medicated, sure, we'll do that. We'll find a really good one for you, but we want you to know that you're strong and that you can get through these really difficult things." And I thank them for that, because it's so easy in our society to feel like, okay, I'm really sad, I'm really anxious, I'm really this or that, I need to get on medications. And in doing so, I think that medications has their time and place, but it's not a substitute for the root cause of why you feel the way you do. Unless it's like actually a medical, something you're born with. But many cases, it's like things that have happened that have just made it that way. And we can also heal without medications, but whatever. So I was stressed. I was so stressed. And I was talking to people nonstop, and I was Googling extensively and reading all these research papers on what I should do. What should I do to not be anxious? And holy moly, man, I was so paranoid about everything. And talking to people really helped me, though, because people shared their stories about their struggles, and I could relate so much, and I knew that I wasn't alone. I was far from alone from feeling that going through that. And it really, really, really helped me. Because I was like, wow, I feel like I'm at the bottom where I can't get out of the pit. But these people, they've even gone through worse things than me, and they've made it out. And they're a lot happier now. So that was bringing me a lot of hope. And so I got better naturally by having loved ones by my side, by being touched, by being hugged. I got better, but I was still very anxious. I was still very afraid. And what I was most afraid of, honestly, was that I'm going to get really depressed and then I'm going to want to take my own life. That's what I was most afraid of. I've been around a lot of people that have struggled with wanting to be on this earth, and I know how devastating that place is to be in. So that was my greatest fear. But I went to therapy. I went to a therapy forum that's called MCT. MCT is called, it stands for Metacognitive Therapy. It differs from CBT and other therapies because it doesn't address the root cause. It doesn't even believe that the reason we feel the way we do is because there's a root that needs to be upheaved. Because they ask the question, how come that two people can go through the exact same thing, like getting fired, like being broken up with, but one of them moves on with their life and is fine, and the other one becomes depressed? And in that, they've studied and they've seen that, well, there's a commonality in all the people that get depressed or anxious or all these things, and they say that it's malfunctioning metacognitions, and that, surveillancing yourself, constantly checking in how you feel, that is one of the things that keeps you in the cycle of sadness and hopelessness, or constantly revisiting the trauma, constantly revisiting, not letting yourself live, but just living in the trauma itself, thinking about it, going into spirals. And basically he taught me that my thoughts are not me, and my thoughts, I can choose to engage with them and I can choose to let them pass, just like emotions. So he said the thought train is coming and you can choose to jump on board, and you can choose to let it run past you, because we have around 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day. Most of it we're not aware of. Thoughts are not us. Thoughts just happen, and they will pass if we don't engage with them. So it's not that we need to run away from our thoughts or that we need to engage in those thoughts, but we need to let them be and then still live our life. So if I'm scared that I'm having cancer, okay, I'm scared of that. Now I'm going to study. Now I'm going to hang out with my friends. I'll let it be running like a software running in the background of the computer. It still be there. It's just it's not actively at the forefront. So that was a really hard thing for me to grasp. Let me tell you, super duper 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 uber hard for me too. Because I was growing up in a place where, on YouTube, where there was a lot of spirituality, new age stuff. It's energies, law of attraction, what you think will, if you think that you will be rich, that you are rich, you will be a vibrational match to that, and you will become rich by virtue. All of those concepts. And shadow work, which is it's a Carl Jung thing, so it's something that's in psychology, but it's also used in New Age to kind of be you have to heal yourself, you have to go through all the hard shit, you have to heal that, and then you can live a happy life, and then you won't attract abuse. I think there's a little bit of truth to that, But I was taking it to the extreme where I would just be like, okay, let me be with my shadows, let me be with everything that hurts, and let me hyper focus on it until it doesn't hurt anymore. And that's not how it works. So I was poking my wound over and over and over and over. I was poking it for majority of the day. And I was constantly checking in, like, how do I feel? How do I feel? Am I anxious? Am I anxious? Am I anxious? Am I doing better? Am I doing better? Like, it was just so much stress. Like, even talking about it, like, damn, that's stressful. So if you poke a wound over and over and over and over, it's never gonna heal. It's never gonna heal. And they also compared the mind, like, they think that the mind can heal itself. Not in MCT. They think that the mind, the psyche heals itself just like any other part of our body. So we just need to let it be and move. And like, they have a book and it's called like Think Less, Live More. Live More, Think Less. And that's exactly it. And that actually helped me. But it was also very hard for me to understand those concepts because, as I said, I've grown up with the complete opposite, where you have to go into it. You have to think about it all the time to heal it. But those tools that they taught me, I started using them in my own life, and at first I was not very good at using the tools I was given. But slowly but surely, I started to not ponder so much. I started to do things I wanted to do. For example, I've always wanted to try dance. But I was thinking, oh my god, I'm not 10 anymore. Like, can I actually dance? Isn't that just for people that are young? But at least when they start, like, all these other people are probably danced for like 20 years, 40 years, whatever. And I'm just here like and I'm going to be laughed at and ridiculed. And you know, that sort of voice was running and running and running, telling me to not do it. People would laugh at you. You would get bullied again. Just all of these things. You're not skinny enough. You're not, like, all of these things. But I did it. I signed up and I brought my ass to the dance studio. And you know what? Majority of the people, they were all shapes and sizes, heights, skin color, ethnicities. It was everything. And people from no experience, just like me, and other adults with no experience. Just come on. Everyone, they were like me. And together we were dancing for the first time. And we had so much fun. We had so much fun. And actually dancing, it brought me self-confidence because, you know, you make dances in front of each other. You have a public watching you. And it's so nerve-wracking. And you feel like, I'm just gonna make a fool out of myself in front of all these people. And you do. But it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to look pretty. You don't have to look perfect. What the real deal is about enjoying yourself and being you. And that was so amazing and transformative and made me feel so confident. And that built me. It built me. And instead of pondering upon going to the store, I would be like, alright, people might hate me. They might think I suck. I'm still gonna go to the store because that's what I want to do. You know, I would have the voice in my head, in the back of my head, saying, stop, don't do it. You'll make a fool out of yourself. You're going to get bullied. And I would be like, okay, but I want to do this. So I'm going to do it. And that fear, I'll tell you this. It takes time. But the more you expose yourself to something, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I just started to pick myself back up again. Now I'm at a place where I've had more like social connections. Not social, how do I say, like more real life interactions, connections, friendships. I still want deeper ones because that's just who I am. I don't really like partying. I like having deep conversations about life and just playing Mario Kart and like telling people that I care about them and, you know, helping them. That's what I always have loved. But yeah, I'm on the path of recovery, and the anxiety that I felt before, I still feel a great deal of anxiety and worry. I still struggle with, you know, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, doing the thing that I want to do, but my heart is like my anxiety is telling me don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. It's so exhausting to go against that all the time. So yeah, sometimes I lay in bed and I don't want to do anything and I just listen to ASMR and read books, and that's okay. That's okay. Have compassion for yourselves, guys, because I noticed even like dating, I used to think that being in love, having a partner that will fulfill my life, all my worries, all my struggles, they will be gone with the perfect partner. First of all, I learned there's no perfect partner. Every person will have things you don't like and don't appreciate. But some things we can tolerate, alright? And then secondly, I learned my issues are still gonna be there. I'm still gonna be anxious, even though if I have a partner, like that loves me, I'll still be afraid. I'll still be worried. There are battles that only we can go through. Personal battles. And it's by showing up that you break those cycles. At least it has been for me. I'm not going to talk about everyone because I feel like no one truly has the answer. We're just trying things and see what helps us, right? But yeah, I'm doing a lot better. I still have, things that are hard for me, that cause me anxiety, that make me uncomfortable. I'm still trying to navigate my life and figuring out what I truly want to do with it. Relationships are easier now, but they're still, I still struggle with finding friends that I truly connect with and can talk to every day. And I'm struggling with finding a true meaning, like a way to live my life. And I have worries about, oh my god, I'm just getting older, I'm not getting younger, I don't have time. But I do have time. It's funny because the algorithm has shown me so many people in their 50s, 40s, 60s, etc. that are just doing things, that are accomplishing what they want to do. It's not too late. And saying it's too late and mourning the past, it's another form of course we should, mourning is totally fine, but making up, it's an excuse. Saying it's too late is an excuse. When I was 17, I used to think I was too old for a lot of things too back then. In 10 years, I'm going to look back at myself and be like, damn girl, you were really young. What the fuck were you thinking? Of course you had so much time to do things. It was not too late. So, yeah. And going through hard things, struggles, I think that's a human thing. Whoever came up or makes us feel that we are failing unless we are happy at all times, I'm gonna put my middle finger to your face and say fuck you. Because honestly, so fucking stupid. Don't make people feel worse for feeling the way they do. Being human is not about just feeling bliss and happiness. It's about struggles, it's about growth, it's about loss, it's about hardship too, that will feel like you're breaking. And that doesn't mean something's wrong with you. That doesn't mean you're sick. But there are things that can help. But I just, like, many hard things are a normal part of life. And we shouldn't see it as abnormal, like something has gone wrong with us. Because that appears in everyone's life. There's no one that's just happy all the time. That's not reflective of the human experience. So that angers me. Like me, for example, I was like, damn, I'm so sad. I need medication. No, I fucking didn't. And you know what? I never took medication. And there's no pride in that. Like, but I just want you to know, because I didn't know that it was possible without medication. And I just want you to know that I did it without medication. It was possible for me. But if you feel like medication is helping you and you feel like you need it, I would say hold on. But if you can't, like, sure, talk with your physician, your doctor, your psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever, and take it if you need it. I don't judge you. I don't judge you for doing that. I just hate when I see the healthcare system pushing drugs onto us without thinking twice. I hate that is the first thing what they want to push on us is, okay, you're anxious, get this drug. Oh, you're feeling a bit sad, like it could be depression. All right, get this drug. Like, no, that shouldn't be the first thing we get. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. It's a long video. If you want to share your stories about your life, sure, go ahead. I love reading them. It's so interesting to see all of our journeys. I want you to know I love you, care about you, and thank you all for being here. And you're not alone, for fuck's sake. You're not alone. And I've also noticed that, like, when I sit and I think, maybe these people don't like me. Maybe they sit and think the same thing. Oh, she hasn't talked to me. Docile hasn't talked to me for a while. Maybe she hates me. Maybe they also think that way, you know? And then because of that, no one talks to each other. Like, yeah. Anyways. Advice. Last couple of advices I'll give is, it's often the things that make you uncomfortable that you need to do. That you need to go through. If you feel that you're uncomfortable, but also deep down you kind of feel excited, you kind of feel like you want to do it, you should do it. Because if it turns out you don't like it, you can always backpedal and not do it. Unless it's something, you know, like you cannot take back. But in many cases, you can go and pursue something, and then you can be like, hey, this isn't really what I like. That's not a failure. That's a discovery. And then you can change, backpedal, do something else. That's okay, hon. No one truly has it all figured out. This world is mysterious. The more you learn about the sciences, the deeper you go, the more question marks you will have, the more you will start to realize that this world, universe, whatever, is very strange, very mysterious, many questions to be answered, and that we truly know a lot less than we claim to. But that's also fun. But I'm also saying there's no rule book to life. So follow your heart if you can. Follow what you believe in. Your inner compass, if you have one. And if you don't have one, make a map, try different things, and then write down, did I like this? Did I not like this? You know? Sending y'all much love. Thank you. Hope you take care of yourself as much as you can, because the most important relationship is to yourself. Sometimes I like to treat myself as a different person, like I'm talking to myself. And I have arguments with myself, and I have discussions, and I hug myself in my mind. And I look in the mirror and I say, hey, you're pretty, I like you. And that actually makes me so happy. Feeling that love from myself feels so good. And sometimes, yeah, I've rambled on enough. I want y'all to know I'm okay. I hope you guys are okay too, but it's also normal and okay to not be okay, and there's a lot of help and aid if you need it. There truly is. Even if you don't feel like there is hope. I know what that feels like, but please just keep on walking. Try something new. Get out there. Okay, much love to y'all. Take care.